It's UFO Day, and Ross Coulthart is back with evidence that the US is concealing alien life. This comes right after a poll that shows that 65% of Americans believe David Grusch. Let's jump in. This
All
is
right, millions
exciting.
around the globe and maybe even beyond are celebrating World UFO Day. Okay, July 2nd is the anniversary of the 1947 crash of an unidentified flying object in Roswell, New Mexico, which the Army
Look at
later said
that.
was a scientific balloon. 75 years later, the government still says there's no
Sorry,
evidence of
I already love this host. I just want to say yes.
non-human life. But that narrative has started to shift since NewsNation's bombshell interview with UFO whistleblower David Grusch.
Yes. Sorry, I'm
When you say
excited about
crash
this.
retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
This jaw-dropping NewsNation exclusive leading to congressional hearings and a federal UFO program. A member of the intelligence community and a pioneer in getting to the truth
Yes,
is
Ross.
NewsNation
Woo,
special
woo.
correspondent Ross Coulthart. Sir, I love when you are on the show because each time it kind of gives me chills because part
Yeah.
of me wants to know, the other part of me is like, I don't want to know, Ross. As someone who has spent decades investigating UAPs, how has the perception of UFOs changed over the last year, specifically after David Grusch's claims went public?
Good morning, Nick. Well, I can tell you there's been a real drift in the public's skepticism about the government's
Yes.
claims on
We
UFOs.
needed this.
A vast majority, nearly 66% of Americans think the US government is concealing information about UFOs. And that's from a very recent poll. And I think there's good reason for that skepticism. I think even senators, senior people in the Defense Department and intelligence community are now saying quite openly that they believe there's a lot more to be revealed by the US Department of Defense, the intelligence community, and indeed by the White House about what the government really knows. And I don't think the public's buying it anymore. I think the public
Amen.
is basically ready for answers. And frankly, a lot of people are telling me they want this to be an election issue.
They clearly want it to be
Ooh.
top of mind because you
Ooh.
just mentioned that poll showing that.
Sorry, because I do want it to be an election issue. I think it's very important. I love that Congress. I love that a lot more people are getting involved. And as you said, there are senators that are looking at this. It does need to become an election issue. We need disclosure. We deserve to know the truth. Not just as an American, not the American people, the whole world deserves to know the truth, especially if a select few know the truth. That seems suspicious, and this is not the way that it should be. We need it on the ballot, but we need to talk about this, and I'm glad it's the majority. The shift is happening, and what people are believing it, because it means that less people are going to be scared or feel uncomfortable having the conversation.
65% of Americans believe intelligent life exists
Yes.
beyond Earth. Why are more people taking the conversation more seriously, Ross? Is it because we're talking about it more, or is it because they have less faith and maybe political leaders always telling them the truth?
I think, to be honest with you, I think Americans have every reason to be skeptical about their government. They've been lied to in the past as a pretext for going to war. And I do think that the evidence is increasingly suggesting that the American government is, and incredible as this may sound, it is concealing its knowledge of a non-human intelligence. And as you know, I'm hearing this not just from David Grusch, but from multiple sources who are allegedly working within what's called the Legacy Program, which is a secret program being operated by the US government involving the retrieval of non-human technology. And I have to say, yes, this particular day that we're celebrating, World UFO Day, it honors the memory of a day, July the 2nd, 1947, when the Roswell crash happened. But I think the interesting thing is there's been a lot more crashes since, and those recoveries, those retrievals of craft continue to this day. And as incredible as that may sound, there are now very authoritative people in the defence and intelligence community saying that the government needs to come straight about this, that essentially it's not being honest with the American public. And I think if you look at the legislation that's been drafted by the Congress demanding that the various arms of government disclose what they know about non-human intelligence technology, which is an incredible thing to be written in legislation. If Congress is prepared to write that, it means it knows something. And it does. I can
Ross,
assure you it does.
It's important also to mention, though, even
Oh, sorry. I love how he said that. That is so true. Because they wouldn't write it. Oh my God, duh, yes.
Legislation. If Congress is prepared to write that, it
Uh-huh.
means it knows something. And it
and,
does. I
and
can
Ross,
assure you it does.
it's important also to mention, though, even though you spoke with David Grusch on the record, you had other sources telling you this information as well. So we will continue to follow this,
Yes,
Ross, because you know
Ross.
we love this stuff.
Yes,
Ross
Ross.
Coulthart, thank you so much, sir.
Good to talk to you, Nick.
Yo, I absolutely love Ross. I think I love it. I love when he's on. I love hearing him talk because of the accent. No, but also he's just very intelligent. He's very well informed, and I'm very glad that he is doing his best to provide as much information as he can about this situation. I love how he's talking about, no, like I have sources, and these are some higher up people. But what really got me about this interview in particular was what he mentioned about Congress and how Congress wouldn't write anything in unless they knew something. And then I don't know if you noticed, but while Nick was trying to speak, Ross was saying, and they do know something. Like he was confirming that they do in fact know something, meaning, in my opinion, especially with the way that he holds himself and the way that he carries himself, that he received information that told him that yes, they do know something, and he probably can't reveal everything, but he's letting us know something is known, which I isn't saying much, but it is saying a lot. This is amazing news, especially for World UFO Day, something that I'm sure we're all celebrating today. It's so exciting to think that we are getting actually closer to disclosure. I love that more people in the government are talking about, like, hey, we need to this needs to come out. Like, we need to bring this out to the light that people need to know. The fact that he even has people that are working on the secret program talking to him as a source and saying, like, no, yeah, this needs to be known. Like, even those people internally are whistleblowing. And this is something that has come up before by skeptics, including myself, where it's like, oh, if we have this entire network of people, is everyone just lying and everyone's okay with it? And this is proving that, oh yeah, everyone's lying, but no, not everyone's okay with it. And yeah, everything is leaking out, and soon the dam will burst. In my opinion, I think that the government needs to get in front of it, or it's going to look really, really bad for them. I genuinely love NewsNation. I think they're fantastic. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash that like and subscribe. If you didn't, smash that dislike. That's okay. Let your opinion be known. The truth is out there, though. So make sure you keep looking up, y'all, and always have your phone camera ready.